Now,
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We have a very special guest. I'm actually going to introduce Darian Clausen from our team. She is our Director of Constituency Services, who's going to lead us through tonight's very special Community Academy. Also with us is Cam Green, our Director of Community Affairs. So, Darian, I'll kick it off to you.
good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're really excited about this particular community academy. It's focused on a very special topic, tax sale. It's something that a lot of you might know about. It's something that occurs every year, and our office has each year has been trying to bolster our outreach efforts for tax sale. Because a lot of homeowners, unfortunately, are affected by tax sale. And that's why we wanted to have this session tonight, to have Donald Wright from DHCD give us like kind of an overview of the process and then any resources that are available for homeowners affected by tax sale. And then just a brief little overview of the Department of Housing and Community Development. It was established in um in 1968, just to consolidate the development efforts in the city, and they offer a whole host of services from like home assistance with home repairs to the tax sale deferment program. And then also developer incentives are offered by DHCD as well. So they do a lot of things related to housing, community development, and code enforcement as well. So without further ado, I'll introduce our speaker tonight, Donald Wright, and he's going to take us through the tax sale process and prevention efforts. And go ahead and take it away, Donald. Thank you for being here tonight.
All right. Thank you so much to the team, to the staff who is leading this effort, to the constituents of the 8th District. Certainly, it's my pleasure to be with you all tonight in this ongoing session that you all have for learning. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to share. My name again is Donald Wright. I serve as the Director of Tax Sale and Constituent Affairs in DHCD. I work directly in the HHP division, that's home ownership and housing preservation. And so our role within this whole narrative for forwarding the mayor's vacant reduction strategy is really to make sure that persons that are in their homes that they're able to stay in those homes. And so in our division, we have several teams. We have our crisis team, which is led by Director Chanel Manigo. She's in the crowd tonight. Also, our light team, which helps folks. That's our triage team that helps people to be able to stay and get some resources like our lead, weatherization, rehab. All of those teams are under our purview. Also, home ownership. So any of those kinds of incentives, as you already said, Darian, those live in our shop as well. And so we've got several teams that are in our shop. But again, it's our job to try to help people to stay in their homes. So to that end, not only are we helping people to stay in their homes with the services that we offer, but of course, all of us know that our city residents, all of us know that own homes in the city, that you have to pay your taxes. And certainly, every year, there is at the end of the year, taxes are due, and then we have something, and we'll kind of get in this in the presentation, but our FBLN, which is our final bill and legal notice, and all those things. But again, I want to say thank you to Councilman Gray, who is a friend, and I am looking forward to sharing this time with you all. So I do have a slide presentation. Am I able to share?
Yeah, let me know if you're not able to, and I'll fix that.
Okay, sharing is not turned on. You can
Okay,
share,
let
you
me
can
fix it
request
right
share for
now.
that. Okay, perfect. So while we're bringing up the opportunity for me to share, I do want to say that that finance really runs the payment of your taxes. When you're talking about actually paying, you're going to be working with the finance department of finance. From a DHCD side, one of my role is to be the Baltimore City tax sale ombudsman. And so that means that it's my role to help people when they have tax bills to be able to get their questions answered about their tax bills, to help to be able to connect people to resources as it relates to taxes and tax sale. And so I do want to make that distinction that my role is really to assist with information, and that the actual payment of those taxes is actually housed in the Department of Finance.
Thanks.
All
You should
right.
be able to share now, and then
Okay.
we'll let Donald go through the presentation, and then once he's complete with the presentation, we'll take questions in the Q&A. You can drop them in the chat as well, however you feel comfortable asking questions.
Okay. All right. So of course I have something. Okay. Let's see. Go to three. Go to two. All right. Okay, so here we are. So again, so tonight I just want to talk briefly about understanding Baltimore City tax sale and the tax sale deferral program. Again, that is the office that I run here in DHCD. Again, I'm the director of tax sale and constituent affairs. So we're going to talk about those two items tonight. So just for the sake of our kind of like our hierarchy, I just wanted to share. Why do I keep um so I wanted to share this. So my direct report is a gentleman by the name of Tommy Williams. He's our assistant commissioner. He's a great gentleman, gives great leadership to our program. And then we will work alongside Deputy Commissioner Nicole Hart. She handles the Division of Homeownership and Housing Preservation. So all of those programs that I mentioned earlier, they really live in her shop, and she provides stellar leadership to our team. And so we're grateful for the leadership that she provides. Certainly, we all work under Commissioner Alice Kennedy. And of course, our fearless leader is our wonderful mayor, Brandon Scott. Um, let's see here. Is it going to go to the next slide? All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now let's try to. You always have problems with technology when you don't expect to have them. So, okay. So, why am I continuing to go? I took this
You have
off.
like a sticky space bar or something.
All right. Okay. Let's hope this works. Okay. So, all right. So here's our agenda for tonight. Again, I apologize for the presentation. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the tax sale process. Then we're going to share some important dates for homeowners. I'm going to explain what our tax sale deferral program is, and then I have some resources that we'll kind of go through, and we'll talk about what those resources are and how those resources can help us. So hopefully that'll complete our time. We may not go into all of the things. We may not be on here for 3 hours tonight, so forgive me. Um, so first, let's start with what is tax sale. So tax sale is certainly when you have unpaid debt on your home, right? So it is about your property taxes. Most people run into tax sale once your home is paid off, right? So after your home is paid off, normally your taxes are paid when you pay your mortgage. Right. But once your mortgage is paid, then you still need to pay the taxes on your property. And so after your home is paid off, you then have to then pay your taxes kind of on whatever schedule you do. Some people pay it, monthly, some people pay it bi-monthly, some people pay it by annually, so twice a year, some people pay it annually, but those taxes need to be paid on your property. And so when you fall behind on your taxes, you put yourself in jeopardy of being at risk for tax sale. We see most people that are at risk for tax sale in this space because they have been in their properties for more than 15 years. Normally, that's when folks start paying their properties off. If you're under 15 years, normally you have a mortgage. And so we really don't see folks with that timeline, with that problem. So once you are in the space of tax sale, your property, the lien, you get a lien on your property, right? And so the lien may be for $1,000 or $12,000 or for whatever the amount is. The lien is then sold in tax sale, right? That lien, which we call a tax lien certificate, gets sold into tax sale, and that helps the city to collect the money that is owed on your property. It's important to note that when the tax sale happens, right? So just for frame of reference, the next slide will give more detail as far as timeline. But once the tax sale happens, it normally happens in about the month of May. When the tax sale happens, your property is not sold, right? So you still own your property, you still live in your property, but what happens is the tax lien, the debt has been sold to a third party. So you still own your property. Now, of course, down the road, the person who buys the debt or who pays the debt does have the option to potentially foreclose on the property, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that will happen. So that's not a definite that happens. So let's go to the next slide. So here are some important dates for us to remember. So as it relates to tax sale, so in January, the city reviews the unpaid bills. That happens in the month of January. What happens is that if you have a bill that has not been paid, you will get flagged for something that is called a FBLN. That is one of our slang terms in our office, a FBLN. It literally means a final bill and legal notice. So the final bill and legal notice, it lets us know that it is your indication that you have a outstanding tax bill, and that tax bill will get sent to you in early February. So you will receive, if you have tax bill, you will receive that in early February. It'll let you know that you need to pay your taxes, that you have an outstanding bill, that you are at risk for tax sale. It also has an insert in it. And the insert in it has some resources for how you can for help that you if you need assistance, that information will be will be right there. So, once the tax bill, and I'm staying here, I'm skipping around just a little bit, but once the FBLN has been mailed out, so it's at some point during the month of March, the finance department will publish they will make the list public, right? So that because again, the goal is that if for some reason you don't get this notice in the mail, they print the list in the paper 2 times in the month of March, so that we can do our best to let you know that there is a bill that is in your name. Um, so it's important to note that, and this says the last business day in April. So the last business day in April is normally the day where you want to make sure that your bill is paid. Now, here's one thing that we need to remember, that your property only goes into tax sale if the tax bill is over $750. If your tax property bill is $749, then you will not go into tax sale. But if your property is 750 or more, then you would be eligible to go into the tax sale. and the tax sale is held again in mid-May. So you want to make a note of that. Now, I did skip over intentionally 2 points. One is the mid-February date. Normally we open right at about February the 15th. It says the TSDP opens, and then it says April the 15th, the TSDP closes. And so what TSDP is, and again, we'll get into it in some of our slides that are succeeding, is that is the tax sale deferral program. The tax sale deferral program. A little bit about the tax sale deferral program is that the tax sale deferral program, it is that our my office that we have access to about $2 million that we're able to assist people with. Now, the $2 million that we have is not real and actual $2 million. That $2 million is money that basically has been set aside to say from the city's aspect that we can use $2 million to assist people. So that's really our budget cap. So we're not actually paying people's bills. But what we're doing is we're able to help to defer people out of tax sale that meet certain requirements. And so those persons that are able to qualify for the program, they're able to submit their documentation to our office. Our staff is able to help to input the things into the system for them, and then their staff is able to pull them out of the tax sale for this current year. Right. So the tax sale deferral process is a year by year process, right? So if you filed for tax deferral last year, then you have to file again this year. So it's not like once I'm in, I'm good. Nope. You got to file every single year. You've got to bring those documents every year if you would like to be a part of the tax sale deferral program. That program again is open. We open about the middle of February, and that program runs to about the middle of April. And so for those 2 months, we've got staff that is dedicated to making sure that constituents who fit those requirements are able to come into the office or fill out those applications and be qualified for the tax sale deferral program. All right. So let me go to my previous slide. I didn't hit the space bar quick enough. So again, so if you have a tax sale bill, right? If you have a tax sale bill and your tax sale bill goes to tax sale in the month of May. So there are a few things that I want to make sure that we are aware of. One is that you still own your home, right? So tax sale does not mean my property, my bill was sold in the month of May, and so now I'm out, on the corner on the street on June the 1st, right? That's not what that means. It means again that the lien itself has been purchased, right? So, and it also means that the private buyer that they only buy the lien. They only buy the lien. They don't buy the property. Now, one of the things that the person can do is that they could at some point they could potentially look to foreclose on the property, but that's not what happens in tax sale. That's another process. So again, the tax sale process is just about the lien, about what you owe for taxes. Also, when the person purchases the lien, you should know that interest is added, right? So the person that is purchasing the lien, that they're able to benefit from it because they're collecting interest from off of the lien that they purchase. So you would have to pay the city, the portion that you owe the city, and you would have to pay the interest and whatever fees they assess toward the tax sale bill. So if they've got legal fees, if they've got interest payments, all of those things are additionally assessed to the initial tax bill that you have. And I do want to just again highlight this that you can still fix the issue. Tax sale does not mean that you can't fix the issue. You can, and by fixing the issue, what it means is that you're able to redeem your property, right? You're able to get your property back out of tax sale. And so here are some dates again that we need to be mindful of as it relates to getting those liens out of the tax sale. So, before September the 15th, you can pay the city directly. So again, I just said that you have those fees and all of those things, but you have until September the 15th to pay the city directly without paying the additional fees, right? So the property may have been sold. The person who sells it by law has to let you know that the tech that your bill has been purchased by them. They have to let you know so that you can know who has it. If you want to pay it off, of course, the goal is for you to be able to stay in your property, and so they will have to let you know. So after September the 15th, the you would have to pay the buyer's legal fees plus the city amount, right? And so you would have to be able to do that. And again, redemption is possible for up to 2 years. But here it is, for those 2 years, those legal fees are continuously compounding, right? They're continuously compounding. And so you would just have to know that you would have to be catching up. And it may be one amount now, but as time goes on, that amount will be increasing because the interest would continue to be assessed. So, a few things. Um, so about the tax sale deferral program. So, the tax sale deferral program removes your home from the tax sale list for the current year. So again, if you file for it in 2026, it will keep your property out of tax sale for 2026. It's important for us to know that the tax sale deferral program does not pay your bill, right? It does not pay your bill. So if your bill is, $5,000, you might be in tax sale deferral, but you still have the bill of $5,000, right? So it's important to make sure that we know that that bill is still there, and that that you have to continue to pay the bill. The tax sale deferral program makes sure that you have time, right? So it extends your time so you don't go into tax sale right away. You go into deferral really so that you can have a chance to be able to kind of catch up on the bill. So you don't get your property sold, but you do have an opportunity to pay those taxes or to partner with some resource so that you can be able to see what options may be available for you to take care of the assessment that you have because of the property. So, tax sale deferral also prevents the high interest and foreclosure pressure. Again, because the once your lien is sold, the person who purchases your lien, they're able to charge you interest, and in some cases they're able to foreclose on the property. The tax sale deferral program really kind of eliminates those things so that you don't have to live under that constant pressure of making sure that you have that bill paid right away. It's important for us to note, and I mentioned it earlier already, that the tax sale deferral program, we're only able to pull out about $2 million worth of taxes, right? So at the point that we get to the place where we've helped 1.9 million, that of course we reevaluate, and I'm always looking to see where we are as far as our budget to make sure that once we get to that place that we have to pull back. To that end, the tax sale deferral program is on a first come, first serve basis, right? So once the program opens, we are keeping track of when persons submit their information because again it's first come first serve. We certainly want to make sure that those persons who submit their applications on February the 15th, that they're able to benefit from the program so that on the back end, those persons who may apply on April the 14th, that we kind of keep things in order. And so we make sure that we monitor how people bring their applications in so that we can be sure that we're able to help folks that bring their applications in. So, here are some qualifications for the tax sale deferral program. Certainly, you know that programs like this, you've got to be able to qualify for them. And so, one thing that is very important to know is that in order for you to benefit from the tax sale deferral program, that you must live in the property. Right. So for persons that may have two or three properties, they may have a rental property. Unfortunately, this program does not would not be able to assist you. This program is exclusively for persons that live in their home, that live in the home that they are filing for, and the property value must be assessed at less than $250,000, right? So you must live in the property and your property value must be assessed at less than $250,000. Again, earlier I mentioned that we really see persons in this situation that are owner occupied. I mean that have already paid their property off. So again, you must have been the owner of the property for 15 years. And there are some caveats if potentially the you just inherited the property. And those are some things that you certainly are able to reach out to our office about, and we would be able to kind of help to give you some direction to see on a case by case basis what we will be able to do to assist you. But by and large, the rule is that you would have to have owned the property for 15 years. So, if you are 64 or under, the income requirement would be that you would make less than $36,000. And so if you are under 64 years old, again, $36,000 or less. And if you are 65 or older, you can make up to $75,000 if you are over 65 or if you have disability. So one of the questions that I know is certainly popular regarding tax sale deferral is how do you apply? Because I know my presentation so well, I can I know exactly what to say, even though my presentation is doing its own thing. So, in order for you to apply, you have to be able to fill out an application. We have several ways for you to do that, right? So, you can fill out an application by applying online. Which really is the preferred way for us to be able to get your application. We want you to go online to open an account on Neighborly, which is our online portal for the city. And we want you to be able to go on to Neighborly and you can actually track your progress of your actual account, of your application right on Neighborly. It'll tell you when somebody's opened your account. It'll let you know when we move you from one place to another. And so Neighborly really is a great way for us to be able to communicate. You can email our staff through Neighborly. If you've got questions, our staff can email you through Neighborly. If potentially you're missing some documentation, we can communicate to you through Neighborly. And it really helps to keep the lines of communication open through us in our building to the constituents. And so we certainly want to do as much as we can to lighten the load and make it as easy as possible for you to be able to apply. So we certainly encourage, not just welcome you, but we certainly encourage you to fill out your application via Neighborly. Also, we have some other ways that you can submit your application. You can go on our website. Once the program is open, you can go onto our website. You'll be able to download a paper version. I was talking to one of our favorite constituents this week, and he said, "Director Wright, I like to see sentences on a page." And certainly we can assist with making sure you have sentences on a page because we have some paper applications that are available. You will be able to come and get one of those. Also, if you like, you certainly can email. We have our email address is listed right here. This is the email for our office, for our tech, dhcd.techsale.info. You can email your application to our office, and we will be able to receive your email like that. Also, of course, if you would like to walk into our office with your paper version, you can do that. We're located right downtown. We're at the Benton Building, right across from right between City Hall and the War Memorial Plaza. So we're right there with this big city building there. You can walk your application in. We also have staff at our front desk where the documents that you would need to bring, they would be able to audit those documents firsthand. So I do, that is one benefit. You can be able to, the staff will be able to audit those documents when you brought them in to make sure that you have everything. And certainly we want to make sure that we make that process as smooth and seamless as possible. Of course, when you email, you're certainly welcome to email those documents in. We do take the original documents. That's important. Our staff will let you know that we have to have originals, that we aren't able to take like copies and third and fourth generation documents. So, some of the resources that we have that are available. Again, Director Manigo is on tonight. She's in the audience. But one of the programs that we have is our MHAT program. It's our Emergency Mortgage and Housing Program. This program helps to pay mortgages and taxes and water bills and insurances. This program is not open right now, so you don't have to call us tomorrow, because this program is one of those programs where you are able to call to get assistance when there is funding for the program. Unfortunately, right now the program is not funded, and so we aren't able to assist. But when we are, a lot of times what we like to do is we try to assist persons who get into tax sale deferral to be able to go right into our MHAT program, again, which Director Manigo gives leadership to. And her staff is able to assist persons to get some additional documentation into our office, and then they're able to potentially get a portion of their bill paid, sometimes the entire bill paid, depending on, again, where the funding is. And so that's a great resource that we partner with right in our office. And so because we're under the HHP umbrella with Deputy Nicole Hart, we're able to literally kind of talk across the hall to make sure that our people are able to go over to her to be able to get some assistance when there is funding for that program. Again, right now that program is not funded, and so we aren't able to assist in that way. Also, the homestead tax credit. That limits how much your taxes increase. Also, the homeowner property tax credit, which reduces the amount of taxes that you owe. These are, again, for owner-occupied properties. You're able to benefit from some of these programs. We also have several nonprofit partners, and some of our nonprofit partners, they're able to actually come alongside our constituents. And what they do is they actually assist some of our constituents with filling out their applications, or if they live in certain areas, there's certain funding that may be available that they kind of align with. And so certainly when persons call into our office, whether we're able to assist them or not, we try to make sure that we hand them off to some of our partners to make sure that they're able to benefit, even if we can't benefit, even if we can't assist them for whatever reason it may be, because they maybe make too much, or whatever the case may be. But we're able to send them to some of our partners, and our partners are able to assist them with the resources that they need so that they could be able to, again, stay in their properties. One of the things that I close with on this slide is this: my home, my deed, my legacy. Um, Many of us know, especially in African American communities, that that our families sometimes leave us properties. Those properties are passed down but those properties may not be deeded to someone. And so when grandma or grandpa passes away, the property is kind of just in the family, and there's no heir to the property, or there's some distinction around the heir to the property. There's some legislation that's going on now that we're working through to be able to assist with making sure that we assist families that have heirs, what is going to be called an heirs property list. But if you are in a situation where the persons may have passed away, then we connect you with My Home ID, My Legacy, and they assist with something called Tangled Title. Tangled Title. And Tangled Title really is that you need to be able to work out who's going to be on the property, whose name is going to be on the property. And so they're able to work with families to be able to let you know how it is to get your property properly deeded. And once your property is properly deeded, then we're able to assist you with the tax sale deferral program. But we would just need to make sure that you have something called a clear path to title. And a clear path to title, again, helps you to be able to know that this person who is on the title is someone that is an heir of the property.
Hey Donald, sorry to cut you off. Um,
Certainly.
I
Was I
think
talking
that
too much?
no. I think that we can't see your screen anymore. The attendees can't see the presentation. I'm not sure what happened, but I can like
Uh,
if you
screen.
stop with the share and then I share it again, maybe it'll work.
Okay, let me see here. Uh, okay. Let me see. Can you all see it now?
Let me see. I don't know what happened.
It
It,
said
Yeah,
it
that's
was
much
saying it like
better.
it says
paused.
you are sharing you are screen sharing.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
good. It was just blurred.
perfect.
The slides were merged a little bit.
Okay, I'm
Perfect.
sorry. Y'all, this
No.
technology
I know
is my fault.
it's always something with the technology.
Yeah, I apologize.
No worries, no worries.
Okay, so this is actually my last slide, so I'm just, hint hint to the team.
Perfect.
Um, so what can you do today? So, we encourage you to know your tax bill, right? Certainly, in the month of January, I had a wonderful meeting with the Department of Finance today. We know that in January, they're going to be assessing, they're going to be sending the bills out in the end of January. But certainly, you're welcome to call and ask, right? To see if you have a tax bill that is outstanding that potentially would put you at risk for tax sale. And so you just kind of want to be aware. So we want to raise awareness to make sure that you know that. Also, so the tax sale deferral program again starts around February the 15th. And so it's important for you to know again that it's first come, first serve. But here is the thing. You can't bring your application to me as a Valentine's Day gift. So on the 14th, you cannot bring your application on the 14th. Applications that come in early, we do not accept, right? So I do not want to have to throw away your Valentine's Day gift to me. Just bring it to me on the 15th. You can bring those on the 15th, and then once you bring it on the 15th, you'll be able to apply for tax sale deferral for the tax sale deferral program. So, I have here apply for MHAP if you need help paying. So, if our MHAP program becomes funded again, this is again is a great resource for you to be able to get some assistance. Again, you don't have to call tomorrow because it's not funded, and so we don't have any resources to be able to assist you with that right now. However, one of the things that Director Manigo, Deputy Commissioner Hart, and I have been working on is we're working to align the documentation that you need to bring in so that when you come in for tax sale deferral, we're able to turn you over if we have funding right to our MHAP team because the documentation that you have submitted will align and you'll be able to just be able to follow us via the neighborly portal, because we'll be able to update you there with details as it relates to your application. So, also, if you know that this year, last year, that somebody passed who owned the property, and that the proper name is not on the home right now, you want to get in contact with my office, and you want us to be able to assist you with being able to fix the deed of your property so that you'll be able to apply for the services. So one of the things that we have some folks that aren't able to do is sometimes you aren't able to benefit from the services because the property is not deeded correctly, right? If and so we would need like both persons, like if the home is deeded to more than one person, we would need signatures and information, excuse me, from both parties that are on the deed. And so if that is no longer the case for you, that maybe one person is no longer here or one person has moved on, then you want to kind of try to get those things in line so that when tax sale deferral program comes along, that you have a heads up. With getting some of that stuff done. The good thing is, again, that we have our partners, and if for some reason the timeline does not align, we're able to work with some of our partners to make sure that you have, again, something called a clear path to title, where you're able to still get some assistance if there is a way for you to get a clear path to title. So, my last point in my presentation tonight is to ask for help early. Please do not wait until April the 14th or April the 15th, because again, you know how it is. The last 2 weeks of the program, we are slam jam packed, right? And we want to make sure that we are able to assist as many people as possible. We're able to reach out, and we kind of employ some of our partners in the council person's office to be able to get them the list to help their constituents. We certainly are doing outreach on our own. We're certainly doing partnering with some efforts even this year that finance will be doing to do outreach. We're planning to have some tax sale deferral program clinics in every district. And so we'll be partnering with you all to see where in the eighth district we'll be able to go, so that we can be able to start to plan what that looks like. We also have a satellite office that is located on Gilmore Street in West Baltimore. And we'll have certain days during the week where persons will be able to bring their applications to our Gilmore Street location so that they can, easily be accessible. Again, we want to try to reach as many people as possible. We certainly want to make sure that you're able to get all of the help that you need. So, here is my information um, here. So this is my office's information. And this is my information. This is the Office of Tax Sale and Constituent Affairs. Here's our 396 number. Here's our email address. This and then under that is myself. That's my information. That's my email, and that is my direct line number. And so that concludes my presentation for tonight. I hope that it was helpful. And certainly, if there are any questions, Darian, hopefully you'll be able to funnel those to me. And maybe if I have an answer, I can get one. And if I don't, I certainly don't mind saying that I don't have an answer, and we'll be able to circle back and get you all an answer for the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that informative presentation. It was a lot of great information, and I think there was a lot of nuance about the tax sale process that many people don't really understand. So it was really great to have you explain all that, especially the piece about there's still an opportunity to redeem your property even after the actual tax sale in May. So we really appreciate you just highlighting all of this wonderful information. And then we actually do have a question in the Q&A, And this one is it's an anonymous question. It says, is this applicable for individuals that have their property listed under an LLC?
So it would have to be owner occupied. So this would only apply to individuals that have properties. Yeah, this would be for individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned like the tax sale clinics. When about were you guys thinking of like announcing the dates or like sending out the info for that stuff?
So we're actively working on it. We're actively working and planning now, and we're looking to probably release those dates probably early January, so sometime next month. And we'll be able to also have a schedule of when people will be able to come to our Gilmore Street location. We're looking at doing there 1 day a week, as well as there are a lot of other nonprofit partners that we already are connected to. And so they'll be able to have the information as well. We certainly like to saturate the community with as much information as possible so that if even if you don't need the information yourself, certainly, we want you to give it to the person that lives next door to you or the person in your community association. We're going to be having a campaign where we're going to be incorporating with some churches and senior centers. So we really have a robust marketing campaign that we're going to be engaging in this year. Thank you for that question.
No, that's awesome. We really appreciate that. Because a lot of our efforts with the tax sale outreach involves like getting the list, the FBLN list
Hmm.
from you guys,
Hmm.
and then we use that list and reach out to the owner occupied
Hmm.
properties, just letting them know about resources like the
Hmm.
tax sale deferral program. So being able to kind of extend those efforts out even more, it's greatly appreciated because we'll be able to reach even more homeowners that way. And then just another follow-up question. With the program, how you guys said you get about $2 million in the funding, but like how many households do you think that benefit from the deferral program? Like, do you guys have those numbers?
Yeah, so I don't have it in front of me how many we were able to help last year. One of the things that we really like to make sure that the persons who apply for tax sale that they move into another program, because what happens is if they go into deferral this year and they were in deferral last year, then what's happening is their bill is continuing to go higher.
Yeah,
So if their bill last year was 5,000 and they deferred it and now it's another 5,000, now it's 10,000. And so because of that, sometimes we're able, I mean, the bigger the bills, the less people we can assist. So again, it's our hope and our encouragement that persons would come in as soon as possible to be able to apply for the program, so that we can get more folks that could benefit from the program.
great. No,
Yeah.
excellent. And that just, you kind of addressed it a little bit, but another question that I had, like a follow-up for that was, is there a way that you approach these like frequent flyers with the tax sale, like people that you
Right.
just continuously see them year after year? Do you prioritize those cases? Is there like a way you address them or anything like that?
So we try to make sure so everybody who comes in contact with my office, we get them a resource guide, so that they're able to again. We really want to help people to get the bill paid, right? So we don't want to just defer you to be able to like push it off to next year. But we really want you to be able to get the bill paid. Again, sometimes that happens through MHAP, sometimes that happens through some of our profit partners like the SOS Fund, like some of our other organizations that we work alongside. But we also try to make sure that because it's a first come first serve program, that there is no like extra, grace given for persons that were in the program last year.
Mhm.
Um, because and to be honest, those persons that were in the program last year, again, they know the system, right? So when we got new people coming in learning the system, they may have had a tragedy happen, a loss, and so there is no grace, extra grace given for persons that this is your, second or third year. We really just try to encourage people to get into the program as soon as possible so that we can assist. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And then we just got another question in the Q&A. Um, I understand you like to assist the homeowner with remaining in their home, but is there assistance offered to those who have actually purchased liens to protect them? So on this, I guess this is more on the other side.
Hmm.
Someone that purchased a lien through the tax sale,
Right.
what sort of protections do the purchasers have? Because I get we've run into issues like that
Hmm.
where someone purchased a lien certificate
Hmm.
and then the property they kind of did it, it was like sight unseen, and then the property that they purchased, it wasn't what they thought it was. So they reached out for assistance with that. So in cases like that, are there protections for the purchaser, or is it just kind of like buyer beware?
So I'm not 100% sure. I certainly can do some research into that. I know that the program that I give leadership does not, and so I don't know if one of my colleagues is specifically gives energy and space to that concern. But I know that the program that I kind of lead and the one that the one that I know about is the one that is actually for the constituent on the front end. And so I certainly will do some research to figure out if there's someone that can assist with that, but not to my knowledge, not in our office.
And then this might be a little controversial of a question, but
Oh no.
I know the past couple of years, Mayor Scott has been he's just been releasing homeowners from the tax sale list.
Hmm.
When that occurs, it kind of happens at the last minute. Do you
Hmm.
guys have like any idea when he's about to do it? Like, do you guys get tipped off first, or you kind of find out along with everyone else with the
So
press release?
Yep. So we find out with everyone else. So our job again is to get as many folks in the tax sale deferral program as possible, to encourage folks to make arrangements with finance, to encourage people into the other programs that we have access to. And if the mayor pulls persons out of tax sale that have owner occupied properties. So again, that's what he's been pulling out. He's been pulling out owner occupied properties. And so if he does that, it's not like we don't know in advance or anything like that. It's something that that he does. And certainly, we support, whatever decision he makes. It's just our goal to try to on the front end to try to, assist as many folks leading up to um, the decision that he may or may not make. And so we never know if it's going to happen. I know that he's done it the last 2 years. I would hope that persons would, continue to take advantage of the resources, because again, we just don't know if that's something that he's going to do. So, yeah. So we just try to make sure that our office, from as a tax sale ombudsman, that we do as much to assist people on the front end. I knew that question was going to come up.
Well, thank you for answering that. We
Certainly.
appreciate it. Did anyone else have any questions? Feel free to drop them in the chat or the Q&A. If you have any questions related to the tax sale process, any of the resources that we discussed this evening, or just like general questions related to the Department of Housing, while we still have Donald on. Going once, going twice. No questions? Okay, we can get ready to wrap up for this evening then. And just want to say again, Donald, we really appreciate you giving this presentation. It was great, and we look forward to partnering with you more, especially with the clinic that you plan to do in the district. So really excited to talk more with you about that.
All right, that sounds great. Again, you all have my information. I think I left it on the screen for a while. And so if for some reason again you all need to contact me with for anything, our office is certainly available. And we look forward to being able to assist to make sure that again, if there's anyone that has issues around tax sale, that we're able to assist them. We certainly want to make our applications, and even if you say, hey, Mr. Wright, we would like to have some applications in my business, or some flyers. We'll be at an event tomorrow with flyers about the program. Even though we're still very early on, we want to make sure that even at this point that we start raising the flag, because in our office, it's Deputy Hart's desire that we help as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
We don't benefit from not helping people,
Right.
and so we want to do our best to assist as many people as we can. And as we do that, this work becomes gratifying, even though it's a heavy lift sometimes.
Yeah,
But certainly we're looking forward
certainly.
to assisting as many folks as possible. Thank you for the opportunity to share. And
Absolutely.
certainly we'll be talking over the weeks and the months to come as we help the folks at the 8th District to stay out of tax sale.
Perfect. Thank you
Perfect.
so much, Director Wright. We appreciate you being here tonight. And we're gonna have this recording available for anyone that wasn't able to make it tonight, and also whoever was here tonight and just wants a copy of it. So we'll make sure to share that out with everyone. And thanks again, everybody. I'm gonna end the recording now.